Hello and welcome to the Postage Stamp, where we travel the world while staying in a corner. This is an audio-only podcast where you can imagine what happens as we speak of mundane experiences from around the world. Listen to it as you do your chores or as you fall asleep. It is a May morning and I am in Penang, Malaysia. I have been here a day and I have already seen a bit of the colonial part of the city called Georgetown. I have decided to see a bit of the nature on offer on this island today. The first point on my itinerary is the tropical spice garden, which is about 30 minutes away by car from where I am staying. Thankfully, taxis are quite cheap in Malaysia due to the relatively cheaper fuel prices, and I booked a Grab taxi to take me to the garden. Like several such places in Southeast Asia, this is an area with several curated plant species, landscaped aesthetically to make it into a pleasant tourist spot. It is by no means a wild forest, which I don't have the risk appetite or the stamina for. I purchased my ticket and head inside for a leisurely stroll. Within a short walk is a little lily pond optimized for Instagram photography with a little walkway where you can pose for pictures. There is also a small man-made rivulet with wooden steps placed so you can walk across it. The gurgling water along with the chirping of the birds makes for a peaceful ambience. The park is built on a hill and there is a gentle ascent made easier by the placement of stairways. On one of the upper levels, there is a viewing platform made of wood where a swing has been placed, again optimized for Instagram photography. The swing swings over the ledge, giving an effect of swinging into the tree canopy all around. A guided path takes me along different sections of the park. The trees are all labeled and there are various tropical varieties, including some poisonous ones. One particular tree has an ominous sign that proclaims that eating even a single leaf can kill a person. In my opinion, it's far too dangerous to be placed right next to the walkway. Apart from these morbid plants, the walk is quite pleasant and not too tiring. There are fresh coffee seeds and tea plants on view as well. A separate section is dedicated to spices. Nutmeg, cardamom, ginger and cinnamon plants planted along the path. The path ends in a little souvenir shop which then leads to the exit. My next halt is the tropical fruit farm, yet another well landscaped and curated tourist spot, quite the opposite of wilderness. I engage another taxi and while waiting for him to arrive, I have a quick snack of rojak, a snack of fruits mixed with a sweet spicy chutney-like mix. It is served by a lady who has a little stall in a shack overlooking the sea. It makes for a nice view, though I don't particularly enjoy the snack. The taxi arrives and the driver convinces me to retain him for the return trip as well, as the fruit farm is in a remote location and it may be difficult to secure a ride back. After buying my tickets, I head inside the farm and I am teamed up with a group of other visitors. We are taken around in a battery-operated buggy by a guide who keeps up a commentary in various languages. Once again, we see several tropical trees and fruits. While these may be exotic to someone not from the tropics, I am familiar with several of them, having grown up with them in the southern part of India. There are guava and passion fruits, coconuts, bananas, mangoes, and fresh pepper, which I have seen plenty of in Kerala. There are also some tropical fruits which aren't native to India, but I have encountered in other countries nevertheless. Durian, soursop, and rambutan, for example. However, the biodiversity of Malaysia is not to be scoffed at, and there are several fruits that I have never heard of or seen before. I come across something called a pond apple and another fruit called a num num. The guide offers us all a taste if there are ripe fruits fallen on the ground. There are also various cousins of custard apples, figs, and citrus fruits that are new to me. The tour ends after about an hour and the buggy drops us off at the customary gift shop. Our ticket entitles us to a free drink at the fruit juice bar, and I opt for something I have never tried before: hog plum juice. It is sour and tangy, and there is a little pickled plum included in the glass as a little snack. I am also entitled to a little assorted fruit plate that has pineapple, watermelon, kiwis, papaya, grapefruit, and passion fruit. The gift shop is full of coconut flavored items ranging from hair oils to coffee. Having grown up with coconut oil, the prices it sells for at this tourist spot are shocking. I head back to my taxi and head to the next place. I have decided to visit a national park and actually make a short trek. The Penang National Park is a few kilometers away and the taxi drops me off there. I purchase my ticket. This is a park with a trail walk, and depending on your interest, time and stamina, there are various sections of varying difficulties you can attempt. My plan is to do the easiest and shortest walks. A 30-minute walk to the river mouth called the Tukun River. Penang is an island and this national park is located along the shore, so all along the walk, the sea is on one side. The walk isn't too challenging as wooden floorboards have been put in for most of the way, but there are a few sections where a small climb through foliage or hand-holding tree roots and rocks is necessary. I spot pretty butterflies and even a water monitor on my walk. The water monitor occupies a few minutes of my attention as I observe it from a distance as it goes about its business. There are a couple of rest stops on the path that double both as rest stops as well as photo points. In about an hour and a half, I make it back to the entrance of the park. By now, I am thirsty and hungry, and I head to one of the seafood restaurants outside the park. The more famous one of the two is unfortunately closed on this day, and I settle for the next best one. Some passion fruit juice solves my thirst, and some salted egg crabs and chili prawns solve my hunger. There is a bus stand nearby, and I miss one to the city by seconds, forcing me to wait for another 20 minutes in the heat. The next one finally arrives, and I am grateful for the air-conditioned buses. The bus winds its way around the coast, and I stare out of the window at the beautiful sea, especially as I am in air-conditioned comfort. On the way, I notice something named the floating mosque is coming up, and I am curious. I get off the bus in an area called Batu Ferengi, where the mosque is located. The mosque has been built on stilts over the water, and hence the name. There is a tall square minaret stretching into the sky and blue domes that seem to blend into the sky in the background. Only devotees are allowed to enter, and a prayer session seems to be in progress as the parking lot is full of cars. I walk around the mosque and click a few photographs of the minaret with the sea in the backdrop. There's a little walkway around the mosque that lets you have a look at the bay where many fishing boats are moored. It is still quite hot and the sun is relentless as it beats down on me. I head back to the bus stop to wait for one to take me back to my hotel. That brings an end to the latest episode of the Postage Stamp, where we travel the world while staying in a corner. Look forward to another mundane experience in another corner of the world in the next episode. Goodbye.